All right, it's saying we're live. Make sure I have the right. Okay, we're good. All right, we have a lot to talk about here. We've got about an hour and a half till the game starts. See how quick I can go through this, but there's a lot to talk about here. First thing of note, Diamondbacks in the playoffs all time are 27 and 25. All right, 27 and 25 in the playoffs all time. This year, 84 and 78 in the regular season, plus 2 and 0, plus 3 2 and 0 and 3 and 0, that's 5 and 0, plus 4 and 3, that's 9 and 3. The Rangers also have the same playoff record that's here. I'll get to that in a little bit. So that means that they're 93 and 81 for the season. Although 9 and 3 in the playoffs, that's interesting. The Rangers are also 9 and 3 in the playoffs right now. If someone loses in 5 games, Rangers equals 107. Remember, the Rangers went 10 and 7 in the playoffs in the year of the 107th World Series, where they lost to the Cardinals in 7 games. The Rangers are 30 and 34 all time in the playoffs. As I said, they're 9 and 3 in the playoffs this year, which means they're 99 and 75 in the playoffs all time. If they win in 5 games, skull and bone. If they win 4 games to 1, they'll have 76 losses on the season. The American League right now leads 67 to 51 in the World Series. Now that's interesting because obviously this is, as I've said multiple times before, this is the Rangers' 52nd season in Texas, and Texas Rangers equals 52. So they very easily could get that 52nd win, but this is the year of the 119th World Series. I don't know where I can show you that, but you get the point. This is the year of the 119th World Series, and 68 and 119. I mean, they go together like peas in a pod. This is the last post on Zach's old website, talking about all the 68s with 9/11, which is state written 11/9 in many other parts of the world. First 911 call. World Trade Center construction begins. George W. Bush graduated from Yale. It's a span of 68 days from his birthday until September 11th. The New York Jets won their first and only Super Bowl. The movie A Space Odyssey came out, and Boeing debuted their 747. And of course, Boeing is from Seattle, where Magnuson Klemenchich, however you say it, is located, who designed the World Trade Center. And of course, terror equals 68, just like CIA, just like Seattle, Washington. I'm going to talk about Seattle a little bit more in a bit. And then, yeah, all the 119s here. And I think that they actually found out that this coin was from 67. Yeah, this coin is from 67, not 68. But you get the point. And now you have the Israelis in New Jersey. A 3-2-2 there, just like Skull and Bones. Just like how from George Bush's birthday until today is a span of 3 months and 22 days. Anyways, back to here. Obviously, Israel is big in the news right now. And the thing is with New Jersey, remember that there's another team in America called the Rangers, the New York Rangers, hockey. And if we just go back to last season, Where is it? Who did they lose to in the playoffs? New Jersey. Yeah, Dorich or Doric Apartment Complex 322. Okay, anyways, that's enough of 68 and 119. And also, to add another 68, Bruce Bochy is currently 68 years old. Okay, moving on. Nathan Eovaldi, the guy whose name sounds like Uvalde, the shooting that happened last year down in southern Texas. And funny enough, he's 33 right now, but look at his playoff record. So 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3. So he's 8-3 in the playoffs all time. He's the starter for Game 1 tonight. As I said earlier, the D-backs currently have 93 wins on the season. If he wins tonight, D-backs are staying on 93 wins. He's improving to 9-3 in the playoffs. Remember, I talked a whole lot about 93 in my Creed video and the live stream I did before that. God's Son, Crucifix, Nazareth, all 93. Sun is 93 million miles away. And that also means if Aldi's scheduled to start today, Game 1, that means he's also most likely going to start Game 5. And if the Rangers do win in 5, I don't have it up here, but if the Rangers do win in 5, they will get their 103rd win of the season, and Eovaldi could improve to 10-3 in the playoffs. Next order of business. I guess I don't have it up here, but I'll click on it. The 2001 Diamondbacks. That was the last Diamondbacks team to make the World Series. They won it over the Yankees. So their combined record that year, regular and postseason, so 92, plus 3 is 95, plus 4 is 99, plus 4 is 103. 70, plus 2 is 72, plus 1 is 73, plus 3 is 76. If the Rangers win 4 games to 1, guess what their record's going to be? 103 and 76. And they went 11-6 in the postseason that year. Just to add that up, 3-2 plus 4-1, 7-3, plus 4-3, that's 11-6. And 11-6 or 116 is 9/11 upside down, or it's you get the point. It's not really upside down. It's upside down and rotated 180 degrees, or maybe it's just I'm confusing myself right now. Actually, hold on. You know what? I'm going to take a moment to show this. Give me a second. I'm going to do one thing here. And why is it not showing up? Well, I'm supposed to have another window up here showing. I don't know. It's not showing up for some reason, though. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. Technical difficulties. It doesn't like showing. Maybe what I have to do. No, we're on full screen. I'm just trying to show you that 116. Yeah, so it's okay. You can't see it unfortunately, but 116 rotated 180 degrees is 9/11. And with that said, I'm gonna bring us back here. It's sorry, I wanted to show it to you on Microsoft Paint, but it was just not having it. Turn that back on. Yeah, I'll turn that part back on. Okay, where was I? Anyways, I was just talking about Seattle over here, and the 2001 Mariners finished with 116 wins. The Mariners hosted the All-Star game that year, just like the Mariners hosted the All-Star game this year. That was the year of the 97th World Series. Mariners equals 97. Also, the thing is, the D-backs could finish. As I said earlier, the D-backs do have 93 wins right now. They could get to 97 if they win the World Series. Or I said they will get to 97 if they win the World Series. Something to think about there. Anyways, with the Mariners lost. They won their next series to enter the ALCS against New York's with 119 wins. They lost that series 4-1, and the Yankees went on to lose in the World Series to the Diamondbacks, as I just mentioned. And look at their playoff record that year. So 3-2 plus 4-1, that's 7-3. And 7-3 plus 3-4 is 10-7. And as I already talked about, Rangers is 107. Just like the D-backs can finish 10-7 if they lose in 5 games. What else is there to talk about here? And of course, I've talked about this before with on that final game of the 2001 season, which was on 10/7. The Rangers beat the Mariners 4-3, like how President George Bush was number 43 at the time, and they won their 73rd game of the season, keeping the Mariners on 116 wins. And I already talked about how Pat Mahomes, who won that game, improved to 7-6 on the season, like Skull and Bones. And speaking of Pat Mahomes, his son I talked about this in the live stream the other day. His son just won MVP of Super Bowl 57, like how World Series equals 57, and Bruce Bochy can get his 57th playoff win by winning the World Series this year, and 73 combined points in this game, like how the season finale from 2001, Rangers won their 73rd game, and this past NFL season was the 103rd NFL season, just like how in 2001 the Diamondbacks, if I can find, in 2001 the Diamondbacks won 103 games, just like the Rangers can this year. Yeah, 57-103 finished in Arizona, that season finished in Arizona. Will this season finish in Arizona? Well, we'll see. Another thing, Stephen F. Austin. So for those of you who don't know, Stephen F. Austin is known as the father of Texas, and he was like Sam Houston's right-hand man. So Sam Houston and Stephen F. Austin, I think they're both born in 1793. Yeah, they're both born in 1793, emphasis on 93. And Texas became independent from Mexico on Sam Houston's 43rd birthday. I don't know if it talks about it there. But Stephen F. Austin died later that year at the age of 43. But anyways, there's a university here in Texas named after him, Stephen F. Austin State University. And it says here on May 11th, the university joined the University of Texas system, and the University of Texas system has a budget of $20.1 billion, having an address at 210 West 7th Street, and that reminds us of how Jester Dormitory, which is the largest dorm on the Texas campus, and I think it was at one point was the largest dorm in the United States. Its address 201 East 21st Street, and let me just is there a I'm pretty sure they have a Wikipedia page. Yeah. And it's named after Beaufort H. Jester, who was the only president to die, or sorry, not only president, only governor to die in office. And he died at the age of 56. And also with Stephen F. Austin, I have to go to here. So if you just write out Stephen F. Austin, it equals 201 and 177, like how, if I can go back to here, it became part of the UT system on May 11th. Stephen F. Austin's birthday is November 3rd, which means which means they joined the UT system a span of 177 days before his birthday. And the thing about Stephen F. Austin is, I'll just search 111. So also, his birthday is November 3rd. That would be Game 6 of this year's World Series. But look at this. He is a big Freemason. He was part of Lodge number 111 back in Missouri, and sought to establish Freemasonry in Texas. And okay, sorry, I'm going in circles here, but the Super Bowl this year was on February 12th. That's the 43rd day of the year, right? Stephen F. Austin died at the age of 43. And okay, actually, one more thing about the day that the university joined the UT system. That was on 131st day of the year. 131 is the 32nd prime. Have beaten 32 to death at this point. Lone Stars 32. 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. Texas Independence Day, and Sam Houston's birthday is 3/2. And what else was it? It was on a date with 59, date numerology, like Freemasonry is 59. Oh, but anyways, I think I may have glossed over the point. 111, that's the date of Game 5 of the World Series, and obviously September 11th was on the day, leaving 111 days left in the year, like how New York equals 111. Here it is. New York 111. And if I just go here to 9/11, you'll see day leaving 111 days left in the year. Earlier this year, the Major League Cricket Championship was held in Texas. That equals 177, also 111. And Arizona as a state is 111 years old. And if you remember, search the USS Arizona. USS Arizona was the ship that sank at Pearl Harbor. Is go down here. Yep, here it is. I've been to this memorial a couple years ago when I visited Hawaii. And of course, that was on December 7th, 127, like how they called 9/11 in New Pearl Harbor, and buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell. It's not a coincidence there. And okay, the last thing about Stephen F. Austin, I was just looking through his Wikipedia page earlier today, and he went to this really obscure university that no one's ever heard of called Transylvania University. And look, there's only 963 students, so less than 1,000 students. But yeah, it's the alma mater of 2 U.S. vice presidents, 2 U.S. Supreme Court justices, 50 U.S. senators, 100 U.S. representatives, 36 U.S. governors, 34 U.S. ambassadors, and the Confederate president. Like, we have this university that no one's ever heard of, and yet all these people in high positions have graduated from there. Like, something's going on here, and it's 243 years old, and that's significant because if I look at 3 to the 5th power, 3 to the 5th power is 243. Like how the Rangers currently have 34 playoff losses. If they get one more, they'll have 35 playoff losses. And also Catholic 35. What was it? I forget. Human Clay. Yeah, Human Clay. That was the album that the Creed song "Higher" is from. That's 35. Just how like Interstate 35 is the main interstate in Texas, connecting the aforementioned Austin. Of course, I probably forgot to mention it here, but Austin, Texas is named after Stephen F. Austin. Okay, next thing. Let me pause the video. Earlier this year, I made a video on the death of former Texas baseball manager Cliff Gustafson. And at the time, I thought it was a riddle for the Texas men's basketball team to do well because it had this neat alignment with the Final Four. Ultimately, what ended up happening is he was known for winning the 1983 College World Series, and then his later in his career, his last ever game that he coached was a postseason loss to Miami, and then 83 days after he died, Texas men's basketball was eliminated by Miami. But anyways, with him, another 68. He started coaching at University of Texas in 1968, as you can see here. And if he was still alive today, he would be 92 years old. And the last time that Texas won a major sports championship was the 92nd Rose Bowl. And this is like that famous game that everyone remembers, Vince Young versus Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. And, well, oh, that's right. So they won with 41 points. I think it was on January 4th or the 4th of January, which could be written 4/1. And Texas on the season finished 13-0. Like 41 is the 13th prime number. Is that a sign that maybe this World Series will end 4-1? Okay, finally, next thing. As I said, there's a lot to talk about. The 2020 World Series that was held right here in Texas. Dodgers beat the Rays. Corey Seager, who's now on the Rangers, he was MVP. And if we go down to the Game 6, that was on exactly 3 years ago today, October 27th. And if you look here, the Dodgers scored 32 runs in that series. I've already talked about 32. Lone Star equals 32. And, of course, Adolis Garcia's birthday is 3/2. There's more to it. As I said in a live stream the other day, pretty much 32 is like talking about 32 is almost like beating a dead horse at this point. But yeah, they won with they scored 32 runs in that series. I think they snapped a 32-year drought. Is it going to mention it? It's not going to mention it, but if I just click on Los Angeles Dodgers, and then where can I just find the? I just want to find their page, not that season. Oh, funny enough, that was their 63rd season in LA. Like this is the Rangers' 63rd season overall. It's also 100. Okay, that was the 131st season for major. Well, okay, I hate saying that because no one really knows when officially MLB started. Some say it was 1901, some say it was 1903, some say it was who knows? Some say it was like sometime in the 1800s, like this page is kind of inferring. But oh yeah, here it is. First World Series championship since 1988, so 32-year drought. And yeah, they won 56 games that postseason because they won 13 games. Is it actually mentioned here? Yeah, because of the expanded 16 postseason field, the Dodgers' 13 postseason wins were the most in MLB history. Well, I can tell you someone's going to tie that this year because either the D-backs or the Rangers will have 13 postseason wins. And also, shoot, I forgot to talk about one thing. Let me just go back up to Corey Seager, the guy who we were just talking about. His birthday, April 27th. "26 weeks and 1 day after his birthday." And of course, that's, for those of you who know, that is a bit reminiscent of Kobe Bryant because he died on the 26th of January, 26/1. And of course, he died in 2020, the year that the Lakers and the Dodgers went on to win their respective championships, the same year that Corey Seager won World Series MVP. And okay, one other thing that I have to talk about, the 2010 World Series, which is the other major parallel to this year because it also started on October 27th. People a lot are talking about George Bush because he's throwing out the first pitch at tonight's game. He also threw out the first pitch. There's where does it talk about it? Here we go. He threw out the first pitch at Game 3 of the 2001 World Series. He also threw out the first pitch at Game 4 of the 2010 World Series and Game 5 of the 2017 World Series. And now he's throwing it out tonight. So this is his fourth time throwing it out. Back in 2010, as I mentioned earlier, ended 4 games to 1. There were 41 combined runs. 29 plus 12 is 41. And obviously, the Giants were managed by Bruce Bochy, who's now the Rangers manager. And speaking of, the Giants had that year, the Giants had the same regular season record as if I can find it, the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks, 92-70, which means they got to 103 wins that season. If the Rangers win the World Series this year, they will do the same thing. That's just another parallel. Are they going to win it on 11/1? Who knows? And I think I've talked about this before, but if the Rangers win the World Series, they'll get their 34th playoff win. And another parallel with that, the San Francisco Giants playoff record from 1958 to 2010 at 34 playoff wins. And of course, this is another tie-in with Freemasonry. Yes, Freemasonry equals 139, which is the 34th prime number. All right, let's see if anyone is saying anything in the chat. It's just Daria. Okay. That's a lot to talk about. And if I didn't mention it already, George Walker Bush, 177, just like the Jesuit order. And I think I Yeah, let me just type his name again. And also Stephen F. Austin, all 177. And also the Rangers enter this World Series with 75 losses on the season. And also the thing is about Stephen F. Austin is that he died at the age of 43, like how Society of Jesus 191, which is the 43rd prime. I was talking earlier about University of Texas. Their sports teams are called the Longhorns. Texas Longhorns and Society of Jesus match in 2 out of the 4 ciphers. And Stephen F. Austin, so he died on December 27th, 1836. 12, 27, 1836 until his next birthday. That would have been 65 days later, or it also would have been a span of 66. It's like how Texas equals 66. Oops. Just like how, what was it? George Bush's birthday until the day that the Rangers clinched a berth in the World Series. Oh, it was a span of 110 days. I didn't catch that. Just like how the World Trade Center towers were 110 stories tall. But it was 3 months and 17 days. And why is it not popping up? 317 is the 66th prime number. Just like how current governor Greg Abbott was born. Well, it's not telling me he's 65 years old. But anyways, he's born on November 13th. Just like how November 13th is the 317th day of the year. Also today, October 27th, is the day leaving 65 days left in the year. Oh, and I think there is also one thing that I forgot to mention. Sorry, I keep forgetting this. I probably talked about this before in another live stream. But Texas is 177 years old as a state. Again, and its birthday is 12/29, the 201st prime. Stephen F. Austin 201. Even though he wasn't alive when Texas became a state, but they still attributed it to him. And actually, I want to see if his nickname, because they called him the father of Texas. Okay, well that equals 58 like Freemasonry, and 68 like how the AL can get their 68th win. Yeah, and 58 like Freemasonry. Yeah, man, that's crazy that they have universities that are like, so this doesn't even have to do with sports. They joined the UT system a span of 177 days before this guy's birthday. Like, damn, the students don't even have a clue of what's going on. See if anyone else is saying stuff in the chat. Well, okay. The thing is with N201, the thing is with George Herbert Walker Bush, he died at age of 94. That's what it is. He died at age 94. Yeah, it would definitely make sense for the D-backs to win one so he can get, because yeah, George Herbert Walker Bush died at age 94. I already talked about George H.W. Bush with the ALCS, because that was I think it was a span of, let me see if I can remember this correctly. Yeah, it was a span. The Rangers won Game 7 over the Astros 322 days after the anniversary of his funeral. and the also Game 1 of the 2019 World Series, which was between the Nationals and the Astros. Oh no, sorry, I wanted to do between Game 1 and Game 7 of the Game 1 of the 2019 World Series and Game 7 of the 2023 ALCS, both of which Max Scherzer started. That was 4 months and 1 day later. So Skull and Bones, 41, and also if I do Skull and Crossbones is 223. Like I'll show you here. We go scroll down to Game 7. You'll see that Max Scherzer went 2 2/3 innings. It shows as 2.2, but that means 2 2/3, so like 2.23. Okay. Is there anything else more to say? So if you can conclude from this live stream, I think you can tell that I'm favoring the Rangers. Obviously, there is a narrative for the D-backs because the NL can pick up their 52nd win against the Texas Rangers in their 52nd season. And the D-backs can get to 97 wins on the season, like how they won the 97th World Series, which starts on the same exact day. I guess the one thing that I'll say is that if the D-backs win 2 games, I think they have a good shot at winning the World Series. But I think if the Rangers have a 3-1 lead, given that Arizona is 111 years old as a state, Stephen F. Austin was part of Lodge 111. You had the big Major League Cricket ritual with the team from New York winning it. That equals 111. 9/11 on the day, leaving 111 days left in the year. And also one thing about I know I said Rangers is 107. Game 1 of the first Major League Cricket game of the season. I can remember what date it was. Okay, yeah, it was a span of 107 days from the first Major League Cricket game of the season until today. And that's how I knew. Actually, if I go back to my channel, so I go over to live. I talked about that here in probably the first, I think it was very early on in the live stream. Yeah, there's July 13th. And like they beat Houston. Houston equals 112. They won by 69 runs. Texas equals 69. Cricket equals 69. There I say Rangers 107. Where do I talk about the span? Yeah, there it is. It's also, what is it? It's also 15 weeks in 1 day. Where do I get to the span? Where do I? There it is. Yeah, that's where I talked about it. And I think in this video, when did this video come out? This was August 12th, so over 2 months ago. At that point, I was thinking Dodgers as the National League team. And the Dodgers definitely do play a role in this riddle because of Corey Seager. And they won the World Series exactly 3 years ago in the same stadium. And funny enough, the team that beat them, the D-backs, is their opponent. And if I had known that Arizona was 111 years old, I think I would have felt differently about them. There it is, 111 years ago. Okay, my voice is getting sore. We'll see what happens. World Series starts. First pitch is really at what time do they say first pitch is going to be at? Okay, they're saying 7:03 again. Like 73 has been this big number with Israel. Again, I don't really want to talk about it anymore because I've talked about it so many times. That's I think that's enough for today. We'll see what happens.